Good morning and the very warmest of welcomes indeed to today's iOB business webinar. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on here. My name is Ben and I will be the one taking you through today's webinar presentation. Okay, so just before we get kicked off for today's webinar session, a big warm welcome to those of you that are on with us right now. It's a pleasure to see you. Thanks very much for taking the time to join. So, a little bit about how these webinars operate. Okay, if you do have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask them at any point throughout today's webinar session. You can do so with the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen there, and I'll answer those questions for you at the end of the session during the Q&A segment. Okay, so please don't worry if the questions aren't getting answered immediately. They will get answered at the end of the session. Now, the next thing is that when we're going through the three core topics today, we're going to take a brief pause in between each of the three core topics to make sure that you have a good chance to ask away with any questions that you may wish to ask, and also have some time to jot down any notes that you may wish to take there as well. All right, welcome to those of you joining us now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and switch off my video camera so you should no longer be able to see me, but you should still be able to hear my voice. And in just a moment's time, you should be able to see the presentation that we have up on screen there for you today as well. Okay, perfect. So if I could ask a big favor just before we get kicked off, just let me know that you can hear my voice okay. And please do let me know that you can see the presentation up on screen there okay as well. And then I will know that we're ready to get kicked off for today's session. All right, so today's topic of conversation, the best time to start a business. Okay, so let's check the chat box and see that everybody can hear me okay. Everybody can see the screen okay. That's perfect, perfect. Thank you very much indeed for the confirmation. Yes, Ben, all clear. Grant. Okay, wonderful. So, your presenter today is myself. Once again, my name is Ben and I'm a business coach. I specialize in working with small businesses, just like many of you on here today, to help them achieve stability and growth. It's my passion, it's my enjoyment, and I'm so blessed to get to do this every single day. All right, so today's discussion points, let's begin with the first one. There is no perfect time. Okay, now maybe a spoiler alert early on, because today's topic of conversation is called the best time to start a business. But here's the reality of it. There is no perfect time to start a business. I'm going to run you through why that is, okay, and why it's a good thing. Next thing we're going to talk about is seasonal markets. Okay, we're going to talk about how these are relevant and how these are going to affect your business journey. And finally, we're going to talk about taking preparation time. Okay, how this affects us long term is very, very important. Now, beginning with topic number one, there is no perfect time. Okay. Now, the digital agency and business world are ever evolving, okay, with more opportunities coming around every single day, okay? Opportunities pop up left, right, front, and center all of the time, okay? So there is no perfect time truly to start a business because if we allow ourselves to fall into the belief system of the fact that, oh, well, that ship has sailed, that boat has passed, if I'd have got on that idea 10 years ago, I could have made something of myself. Okay. I could have made something of this business. Do not fall into that trap. Okay. Because there will be the next thing. There will be the next wave. There'll be the next up and coming thing. So change your mindset from that ship has sailed to when's the next ship getting here and what's it going to be carrying. Okay. This is how I want us to think. We have to understand that with this mindset, instead, we're going to allow ourselves to find opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And instead of focusing on this negative cycle of, I've missed it and I'm not going to be able to do anything else, instead we're thinking, what's next? What can we do next? How can we grow? How can we improve? Okay. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to think. And it's so accurate. Okay. Because there are always new things and new opportunities popping up. So if you wait and wait for the perfect time, you may never take the leap, okay? Many make the mistake of waiting for the perfect time. Okay, now this is so, so, so common, okay? I might have a meeting as a business coach, or you might have a meeting as a digital agency owner, and you're meeting with people and they're saying, you know what, 6 months' time, a year's time, 2 years' time, or you're thinking about starting a business yourself and you're thinking, this year's just not going to work for me. We've got holidays booked and I'm getting a promotion at work, and now it's just not a good time for me to start a business. My dream can wait. So you put it on hold till next year. And then next year, there's going to be another reason why you can't do it. So you do it again and again and again and again until eventually you find yourself never having started that dream business, never having taken a chance on yourself, and never having done anything towards that dream of yours. Okay. So if you wait and wait for the perfect time, you honestly may never take the leap. And to me, That's the most scary part. The biggest risk to me is not taking the risk, not knowing what happens on the other side. Okay. What does life look like if we pursued our dream? What does that look like? Okay. If you're not happy with your day to day of, say, going to a job that you don't like or the commute or something like that, think about this. How different could your life look if you did decide to take a leap? Okay. Running a business is about intelligently navigating the market at any time of year in any climate. Okay. Those business owners that are truly, truly, truly successful will find themselves thriving in any environment because they understand how to navigate choppy waters. Okay. We're using a lot of sailing references this morning because it's such a good way of explaining what we're talking about. You can't necessarily control the climate, the environment, the market, but what you can control is how you react to what's happening and how much time you invest in research, education, understanding what's about to happen, predicting it, anticipating it, and putting yourself in the best possible position to go through. Instead of letting it happen to you, you start deciding where you're going to go. Okay. You don't let external influences dictate how your life and how your business goes. You have to be able to navigate these things. And in order to do that, you have to make sure that you're spending time with the right people. You're internally ambitious to learn, to educate, to fight for more business, fight for more wins, be agile, adapt to what you need to adapt to. Okay. And finally, truly successful business owners will flourish in virtually any environment. Okay. You have to give yourself that belief message because if you don't, once again, you'll find yourself in a spiral of negativity, not necessarily motivated, not necessarily moving forward, not necessarily feeling like you can accomplish something. Have you ever been in an environment where you just think, I'm not capable of this, I can't do this, this isn't for me? Why is that? It's very, very, very much likely because that is what you're telling yourself. If you tell yourself you can't do it, if you tell yourself you're incapable, if you tell yourself it's too hard, then guess what? It is. Do you think that the truly successful business owners have stood there saying, this is too hard for me, I'm just going to leave it? Okay. They have overcome several challenges and they will have to overcome several more to continue growing. And this is the mindset that we must adapt. So that brings us to the end of topic number one. I'll rejoin you again in just a moment, as as promised, and I'll see you again for topic number two. Perfect. So thank you for the questions. I'll get to those in just a moment at the end during the Q&A segment there. Okay. So let's talk about seasonal markets now. Okay. Each time of year offers a different opportunity for business, even in the quiet months. Okay. And this is really, really important for us to understand. We need to be able to navigate the quiet times just as well as the busy times. Okay. And we have to figure out how to turn those quiet times into busy times as well. And this is what is so incredibly important for us to understand because many business owners will just stand there and say, it's just a quiet time of year. We're just quiet right now, or oh, it's quiet, it's not so busy. That's okay. We'll just, figure things out. Okay. This is a mentality that we cannot take. And the reason for that is because as a small business owner, our business is completely and fully dependent on us, our ability to adapt, our ability to be agile, our ability to continue navigating the quiet times, okay, and turning those quiet times into the busy times, which is the most wonderful thing that we as business owners can do, okay? We have to figure out how to use this to our advantage, okay? When everybody else is standing there saying, whoa, we're quiet, this is just a quiet time of year for us, how do we make it so that we're not quiet? How do we make it so that we're thriving? How do we make it so that we're making loads of sales? We're doing really, really well with our marketing campaigns. Let's talk about it, okay? Let's give you an example. November and December, their Christmas sales, seasonal festive deals. Okay. Now, this is just an example. It's probably the most common example of this. Okay. We need to find events and use them to our advantage. Okay. Are you doing a Christmas offer? If somebody joins you in December, do they get an advantage on people that join you in January? And this is actually a conversation I was having with lots and lots of wonderful business owners before Christmas in November and December just gone by there. I was speaking to people about how we can turn these quiet times into busy times and use them to our advantage. And one of the biggest skills in sales is the ability to turn a negative into a positive. Okay. So let's use some common industries for this. Okay. Let's look at personal training. It's a good example. Many people will say, I can't wait to get in shape in the new year, and I'm just going to start in the new year, sorry. Okay, I'm going to wait till the new year and I'm going to start then. And the reason for this is because they allow themselves to believe that, well, there's no point in doing anything in November, okay, when Christmas is still a full 2 months away. They say, well, because Christmas is just around the corner, there's no point in, not enjoying myself in Christmas. Now, what the key thing that they're forgetting here, and this doesn't just apply to personal training clients, this applies to clients in almost every service-based industry. The progress that you could make in 2 months could be potentially monumental, okay? And you're going to lose that 2 month advantage if you wait until January, okay? It's a very, very big thing. It's a very, very important thing to look at. Now, the same applies in many, many different ways when we are looking at, the progress that could be made business-wise with new clients, business-wise with new opportunities, conversations that could be had, deals that could be set up, okay? Now, especially with something like personal training as well, let's think about, well, how much more in shape could you get in the next 2 months? And then you could start January and even faster start and still enjoy Christmas. Okay. It's the same thing in the digital advertising world, digital marketing world, okay? There is a monumental amount of work that we could get done before January, okay? So let's say that somebody says, all right, Ben, I don't want to start advertising until January. And I say, that's absolutely fine. But what I would recommend is that you would get in now. This is midway through November. That gives us 6 weeks to prepare the most incredible campaigns, get your social media set up, plan everything perfectly right down to the T. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm giving a special offer right now for clients that want to come in before Christmas, and I'm only taking 5 of them, and it allows us to then get the preparation time ready to go ahead for January. There's going to be no advertising spent to pay for, just my fees for my time. Okay, so instead of spending, say, £1,000 a month in total, you're going to be spending £500 in total. Okay, and what's going to happen is I'm going to get this all prepared for you so that come January 1st, you are ready to launch incredibly quickly, incredibly fast, and incredibly more well prepared than your competitors. Okay. So running a successful business is about analyzing your market properly and understanding how to find the correct clients to benefit you at the correct time of year. Use these times to your advantage. Okay. January. Is it that people don't have much money after Christmas, or is it that Christmas is now over and people are ready to grasp a new opportunity? It's the new year. People set goals for themselves, business owners set goals for themselves, personal goals, business goals. People want to get to certain places at certain points in time, and the new year is a very, very popular time for doing that. So January 1st, we need to be jumping on that bandwagon and allowing ourselves to fly with everybody that wants to fly, okay? Because we are that business leader. We are those businesses that will take people to the next level. But your prospects will only believe that if you yourself believe it, okay? Now focus on taking care of each client well all year round and establish consistent monthly income. Because here's the other thing. If your clients absolutely love working with you, they will find a way to continue paying you even if their business is quiet because they want to keep you on board because you are that incredible that they want to stay loyal to you. Okay. So, on that very, very high note, that brings us to the end of topic number 2, and I'll rejoin you again in just a moment's time. Perfect. So let's move on to the third and final topic for today's session, taking preparation time. Okay. So any quiet time in business is an excellent time also. It's an excellent opportunity to focus on the future of your business, okay? If you do find yourself in a quiet period, despite having tried everything, okay? And trust me on this one, you will be doing more than those that aren't trying, okay? Very, very, very likely that if you were to pit yourself against a competitor who decided to just give up in November and December versus you who was trying everything they can do to drum up business, you will come out ahead, okay? Now, you might have a little bit more quiet time compared to, say, the more busy months. And it's an excellent opportunity to then focus on the future of your business. Okay. Now, what can you do to focus on the future of your business? Well, you can review your KPIs to assess how your services are performing in your market. Okay. Now, this is what is extremely important to understand is where we want the business to go. And we have to take regular opportunity. Okay. Even not necessarily just in the quiet times. It's actually good to review this once a quarter to see where you would like your business to go. Take time out of the business, so to speak, and just think, where do we want to be financially? Where do we want to be client-wise? What do we want to be doing for people? Who do we want to be helping? Who do we want to be serving? What does that look like? And the second thing that we can review the key performance indicators to assess how our services are performing in our market. Okay. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, I mean, let's look at the metrics. When we run an advertising campaign, how many people do we reach? How many people actually take action on what we're asking for and what we're saying? How many people are looking at what we're doing? How many people are signing up with us? Is this a popular service? Is this not a popular service? Should we stop wasting time on delivering this service because actually another one is more profitable? And over time, you'll begin to see that whilst there may not initially seem like many metrics, you'll start to see an awful lot of things that you can monitor. We need to establish short and long term goals. Okay. By short term, I mean what's happening this week, what's happening this month, what's happening this quarter. By long term, I mean what's happening 5 years from now, what's happening 10 years from now. Where are we? Okay. At what point in our life do we want to have achieved X, Y, Z? What part in our business's life do we want for it to have achieved X, Y, Z? Okay. How much money do we want to be earning in 10 years' time, 5 years' time, 3 years' time? Where do we want to be? What are we going to be able to do with our business? Where are we opening offices in the world? How many people are we employing? What kind of teams are we developing? Okay, all of these incredible things. So, really, really, really take time to think and establish how you're going to manage this business. Because if you're fully committed to it, especially on the sales side, it's very, very difficult for it not to grow. Okay. And ultimately, whether we like it or not, as the leader of our business, we are also salespeople. We also have to always be selling what it is that we're offering, always putting our best foot forward and saying, yep, this is what we do, this is how we do it, this is why we believe that we're one of the best. Okay. Taking time to review each client account and see if you could be doing any more for them. Okay. And this is a big one. It's a very, very important subject. And as we discussed at the end of topic number 2 there, we really need to be thinking about how we are taking care of our clients long term, because they will help us through these quiet times. If we have consistent residual income coming in from our wonderful clients that are there and loyal to us as we are to them, we will see our business thrive long term. Okay. And we have to take time to review each of these client accounts and say, well, are we doing enough for this person? Have we spent enough time with that person? Are we letting this account slide? And it's very, very important to review this and be completely upfront with our clients and say, I think we could do this for you, or I don't think you necessarily need that anymore. So let's figure out how we could start spending that money on something that's potentially more valuable for your business. Okay. Take this time to review the client account because it will be worth it. It absolutely will be worth it in the long run. Okay. And on that final note, that brings us to the end of today's initial presentation. What we're going to do in just a moment's time is do the recap for today's session, and then I will get on to the Q&A for today. So I'll see you again in just a moment's time. Wonderful. So let's recap today's session. Number one, the business world is ever evolving. Okay. Things are always happening, and there's never a perfect time to start a business. If we let ourselves believe that the ship has sailed, then guess what? The ship will definitely have sailed. We have to keep ourselves focused, keep ourselves going in the right direction, and keep ourselves looking out for the next opportunity coming our way. Number two, each season is a different opportunity. Okay. You have January, you have Christmas, you have summer, you have April time, springtime. You have all of these wonderful things that you can focus on and really use them to benefit and boost your business long term. Okay. And finally, quiet time is also productive because you're reviewing client accounts. You're thinking about what you want the business to be doing this week, this month, this quarter, 3 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time. We're always planning. We're always making sure that we're on track for that ultimate goal. Okay. So, as always, a massive thank you for taking the time to attend today. If you'd like to talk to a member of our team, you're more than welcome to head over to iob-business.com/talk. And on there, you can book a call at a time that suits you. And when you follow this link, you'll see a calendar just like this one that will allow you to pick a time and date that works best for you. Okay. So, whilst I go and grab your questions from today, and thank you very, very much indeed for asking them, I'm going to leave this link up on screen there so that you can go ahead and access it. Okay. Now, first question, how does a business survive in a difficult climate? Fantastic question. I love that. Let's go over it. Okay. So, main thing here is agility. Okay. Successful businesses proactively problem solve, and they structure themselves in such a way where they're able to adapt to the movements of the market. Okay. They always keep an open mind to business. They're always figuring out, okay, well, is that an up and coming thing? Or can I do that? Or can we pivot this way? Agility is your best friend in a potentially difficult climate, okay? Potentially difficult market. You have to get in there and not be afraid to even disrupt the market, bring forward something new, bring forward something that nobody else is doing yet. Okay. When you see a wave happening, either jump on the wave or figure out a way to create a wave of your own. All right. Fantastic question. Thank you for asking. Next question. What's the best use of my downtime? Love it. Okay, awesome. So listen, whatever makes the most sense for your business. Okay. There is no one answer to what the best use of your downtime is. If you feel like you have to improve your sales, improve your sales. If you feel like you need to do better with marketing, improve your marketing. Okay. Whatever makes the most sense for you and your business. We're all different, and it's always good to review your service offerings, the health of your client accounts, and where you want to be. Okay. Because ultimately, I believe to some extent that all of us have a similar goal in the sense that we want to achieve certain things on a certain timeline. We say to ourselves, well, in 5 years' time, this is my 5 year plan, this is where I'm going to be. Okay. But we have to be working towards that 5 year plan every day, every week, every quarter, every year. Okay. Because many of us fall into the trap of believing, oh, that's my 5 year plan. That's ages away and ages away and ages away. And then 5 year comes and we haven't moved any further forward. So we have to be focusing on that every single day. Fantastic question. Thank you for asking. Do we have any more for today? It doesn't look like we do. Okay. Well, as always, a massive thank you for taking the time to attend. It's been a genuine pleasure, and I very much look forward to seeing you again on the next iOB business webinar. Take care and bye for now.